Hello everyone, my name is Don Preston. I am the president of Preterist Research Institute. Welcome to Preston's Ponderings. Great to be with you again. And by the way, thanks so much for the very kind emails I've been receiving from a lot of you about Preston's Ponderings. We're taking a look at the prophetic background and source of Jesus' prediction in Matthew 16:27 and 28, where he said, "The Son of Man will come in the glory of the Father with his angels, and shall reward every man according as his work shall be. And verily I say unto you, there are some standing here which shall not taste of death until they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom." We have already seen that Isaiah 40 and Isaiah 62 serve as partial source and fountain for Jesus' prediction. You see, Jesus, when he came, was coming, as he stated often, to fulfill the promises in the Old Covenant. His entire mission, his entire purpose was to fulfill the promises that God made to Israel so that the Gentiles, the rest of the world, could then be blessed. There is another prophecy lying behind Matthew 16:27 and 28 that is very often overlooked, but it is critical. And that prophecy is Daniel chapter 7. Daniel saw a vision of four great beasts. Now, for brevity, just let me summarize and give you a little bit of an encapsulation of what Daniel's vision meant. The four beasts represent four kingdoms that would arise in succession. The fourth beast is the Roman Empire. In Daniel's vision, in the days of that fourth empire, a power arose that began to persecute the people of God. Just a major persecution against the children of God. Wore them out, you might say. Finally, the passage says, the vision says, that the Ancient of Days came and destroyed that little horn, and the kingdom was then given to the saints, and the saints are personified in a singular he, that is Messiah. In other words, at the coming of the Ancient of Days, the kingdom was established. At the coming of the Ancient of Days, in judgment of the persecuting power, the kingdom was established. Does any of that sound familiar? Well, it should, because those are the very constituent elements of Matthew 16:27 and 28. Take a look at a parallel chart between Daniel 7 and Matthew 16:27 and 28. Daniel's prediction involved the days of the fourth beast, that is, the Roman Empire. Jesus came and lived and ministered in the days of Rome. Daniel foretold the persecuting power who would persecute and slay the saints of God. Jesus, in Matthew 16:23 and following, was predicting his own death at the hand of the Jews, by the way, and the death of his disciples at the hands of the Jews, by the way, in his lifetime, that is, in the days of the Roman Empire. Daniel foretold the coming of the Ancient of Days. Jesus predicted his coming, and the reason this is so is because the Father gave all prerogative of judgment to the Son, John chapter 5:19 and following. In Daniel 7, the Ancient of Days would come and vindicate the martyrs who were suffering at the hands of that little horn, and as well destroy the little horn. And in Matthew 16:27, Jesus predicted his coming in reward. Well, that meant judgment of those persecuting him and his followers, and it meant reward of his followers. In other words, vindication of the martyrs. Daniel predicted the establishment of the kingdom, just like Jesus said in Matthew 16:28, "Some standing here shall not taste of death until they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom with power and great glory." Now, Daniel's prophecy had to be fulfilled in the days of the Roman Empire. You know, no matter what else you might think or believe, that prophecy of the coming of God, the day of the Lord, would occur in the Roman Empire. That meant the kingdom would be established in the Roman Empire. And Jesus likewise said, "There are some standing here which shall not taste of death until they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom with power and great glory. Daniel 7 and Matthew 16, 27 and 28 agree. The coming of the Lord and the establishment of the kingdom was going to be in the Roman Empire and in the generation and the lifetime of Jesus' first century audience. Hey, we got more. Thanks for joining me for Preston's Ponderings. We'll see you on the flip side.